This show is presented by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute.
On today's show, we'll sit down with Reign's head football coach, Darren Wiley, sponsored by Baker Sports. We'll also look at the highlights from Bishop Kenny versus Orange Park in boys basketball, sponsored by the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our athlete of the week is Jalen Chance from Bishop Snyder High School. We will also check out a video from the YMCA's Healthy Recipes event. We'll also sit down with Bishop Kenny's volleyball team. And lastly, we'll look at the highlights from the Special Olympics golf tournament. We'll be right back. It's time for ITG Next. I'm Haley Rash.
And I'm Nathan Dean. We'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors, the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the First Coast YMCA, and Baker Sports.
Being a professional athlete can get kind of stressful from time to time.
And that's right, and that it can. So one way athletes stay prepared on and off the field is a little bit of their own pregame rituals.
Coming up next, we're going to go over the top 5 most interesting pregame rituals.
Now, some athletes drink water or Gatorade before a game. Well, one athlete thought that just wasn't enough. Coming at number 5 is Karen Butler's ritual of drinking Mountain Dew before a game. During his time at the University of Connecticut and his early seasons in the NBA, Karen Butler would guzzle down a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew before the game and during halftime. Once he joined the Washington Wizards in 2005, the Wizards forced Butler to switch to a more traditional pregame drink, much known as water.
Honestly, I cannot understand how he can function during a game with a full stomach of Mountain Dew, and that's not even a good soda, but that's my opinion.
I'm not like a huge fan of Mountain Dew, but when it comes to drinking it before a game and during halftime, especially when it's a 2-liter, I don't really feel like that's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe he should just stick to water. Coming in at number 4, we're going to be looking at a different kind of pre-game ritual that starts the night before. We're going to talk about Jason Terry's sleepwear. Terry revealed that every night before a game, he would wear his opponent's shorts to bed. Now, you may be thinking that he goes out to a store or orders off Amazon for the opposing team's merch, but that is not the case. Terry goes the extra mile and wears the actual game shorts of the athletes he is playing against when he goes to sleep.
And Terry had many successful years in the NBA, so I guess it worked out for him.
Whatever works for you and gives you a good night's sleep prior to the game.
And something that works out for one of our Jacksonville Jaguar players, former defensive tackle John Henderson, used to be slapped before every single game, and he's coming in at number 3. Before each game in Jacksonville, John Henderson would have an assistant team trainer, Joe Sheehan, slap him across the face. According to the Florida Times-Union, Henderson began this tradition during the 2003 season as a way to get him amped up for the game. Apparently, the strategy worked out for him as he made the Pro Bowl twice after the tradition began.
That is quite a pre-game ritual to get yourself in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to put it, I guess. Before the show, we never get slapped in the face, so maybe we're doing something wrong because it worked out for him.
Seems a little painful, and I think we're going to skip that ritual. Coming in at number 2, we're going to look at the National Hockey League Ottawa Senators' Bruce Gardner. Before each game, Gardner would dip the blade of his stick in the locker room toilet. The superstition began during his rookie season when he asked veteran Tom Schwartz for advice after he hadn't scored a single point in several games. Schwartz said he needed to teach his hockey stick to respect him by dunking it into the toilet. Gardner was skeptical at first, but after he listened to Schwartz, his cold streak ended and he started scoring during games.
I don't know if sticking a hockey stick in the toilet is something that I would personally do, but it worked out for him. So
yes, again, whatever works for these players, go ahead and do it if it gives you the W.
Now, we all know NHL players are superstitious, but MLB players might be even more superstitious. Coming at number 1 is Cleveland Indians' Kevin Romberg. Romberg played just 41 games with the Indians in the 80s, but he still established himself as one of the league's most superstitious. One of his most peculiar was that if someone touched him, he had to touch that person back. If he was tagged out while running the bases, he'd wait for the defense to clear the field and chase that player down. Romberg also refused to make right turns while on the field. He'd sometimes have to make a circle to get moving in the right direction.
Kind of like a grown-up version of tag, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, and Adrian Beltre, one of the players in MLB now, doesn't like to be touched either, so that's something that kind of reminds me of that superstition too.
Today we're going to be looking at our Jacksonville collection as our photo of the week. You can shop all of these looks at our website, itgnext.com.
And our video of the week is of Vanderbilt University. They defeated the Michigan Wolverines in 3 games to win their second World Series. They had some early adversity early on, losing the first game, but won Game 2 and won Game 3 to win the College World Series in 2019.
Now we're going to sit down with Rains High School head football coach Darren Wiley and 2 of his star players, sponsored by Baker Sports.
Fall Friday nights are for football, high school football. But on this opening night at Rains, a triple shooting left a former student dead and a head coach trying to mentor his team through a tragic off-field life lesson, much more important than the loss on the field.
How we can move forward. We have a lot of season ahead of us, and guys just took the whole attitude and approach that we're going to get better, we're going to learn from all of this, and we're going to turn it around into something positive, and they did just that. You know, the process is you got to enjoy the good times and the bad. You know, you have to overcome all the obstacles, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. And we just tell ourselves we're going to just take one play at a time, and we'll communicate, and we'll execute, and we'll be fine.
We really ain't paying no attention. That was outside of the field house. We all just came together and played as one, and not let that stop our season.
Coach Wiley and the other coaches, they got us together. We bonded together, and they was like, you just gotta be together now more than ever, because now everybody's trying to count us out.
The Rains Vikings overcame adversity and did not let the tragedy define them. They went on to the state championship to compete for a second year in a row.
I tell you what, I always look in the crowd before the game and after the game just to see the smiling faces, you know, and just to see the joy in people's hearts. I saw tears, so it just made me really appreciate, you know, the opportunity that was given, the accomplishment that you can impact so many through your work, your discipline, your consistency every day, and it was just a joyous moment.
Wiley continues to instill life skills to this nationally ranked team.
The road to success, there's a lot of highs, and there's going to be some lows, and it's how you overcome them is going to define who you are.
The Vikings' road to repeating was a dominant one, with the team outscoring their opponents 137-9.
When they actually hit double zero, it was a lot of things running through my mind, but first thing I went to my mom and my dad in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I gave them big hugs, and it was a good feeling to have that day. It was good.
It was a surreal moment. You know, I was just thinking about, you know, all the great players, all the great coaches, the moments of Rains football. And I just thought, you know, to be a part of this was just wild. I was thinking back to back. You know, I just kept in my mind saying back to back. Unbelievable.
The Vikings are already looking ahead to the 2019 season.
What has the 2019 team accomplished? Everyone will say nothing. Well, then we have work to do.
Overcoming adversity is just something Rains knows how to do, and they are nothing short of dominant.
And the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute are the team doctors for many high school sports teams here on the First Coast. We sent some ITG Next members out there to cover a basketball game between Bishop Kenny and Orange Park.
One of our returning players, Dominic Allman, who was a junior for us, was killed in a car accident on August 24th, so the t-shirts are in honor of him. We're just looking forward to it. You know, it's a great opportunity. Orange Park's a very good program, very well coached. They play extremely hard, so we're looking forward to this game and, you know, one game after that and keep going. Yeah, so Greg Heater's our head athletic trainer at Bishop Kenny. He does an outstanding job for us. And you know, they do a very good job in keeping our guys healthy as best as possible.
My name is Jalen Chance. The school I attend is Bishop Snyder, and the sport I play is track and field. So far, most memorable moment for me this year was being able to compete at the Florida Relays and win long jump and triple jump. I mean, just the atmosphere that was there and so much high quality talent. It was just to be able to perform my best in front of all those coaches, college coaches, high school coaches. It was very good opportunity and a great way to end my senior year. For my major, I plan on going into sports medicine or sports management, being able to help people, and since I know the experience of the sport, just being able to help people physically and mentally, I feel like something I'll be able to do in the future. I would definitely say my family, just pushing me day in and day out, making sure I put my best foot forward and not just going half effort or a little effort, just being able to know that I have the full effort, and then whenever I'm able to do that, the outcome is just worth it. I would definitely say the best advice that I've been given so far is I have the potential, I just have to see it for myself and I have to apply it. I mean, anybody can tell me, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that, but me personally, I have to know that for myself. And whenever you're able to know that for yourself, then success is just gonna keep building and building. What makes me different is definitely feel like with me, the things I've went through and the trials and tribulations and the fact that I'm just humble. I try to be humble. And it's just that I just want it more. Well, definitely number one is Carl Lewis. I mean, I know he wasn't during my time, but seeing his videos and looking at him and how he reacts on and off the track is that's the dream athlete right there. And then number two, Grant Holloway. I mean, I've been watching him even before he was like big time, and just seeing the process and just seeing him be able to do the things he does and the characteristics that I sometimes share with him is just, I would say he's one of the greats of our generation now. And then last one, Usain Bolt, because he's just Usain Bolt.
So if you could play any other sport, if there was no such thing as track, what would you do and why?
I would probably say basketball, since as a kid I've just always been playing that, watching it, and that's just one of the second things that I know in sports, and I just like it. I just like having fun. My name is Jalen Chance, and I'm living in the game.
This show is presented by First Coast YMCA.
The First Coast YMCA is always coming up with fun events for the Jacksonville community. The ITG Next team went to their Healthy Recipes event where we learned how to make some delicious, nutritious meals.
Well, I joined the Y probably a year ago, and I heard about the cooking events that go on, so I decided to stay. Well, it was so much fun because the guys that come in, they were just so funny, and they taught us so much about the recipes of things that I had never heard of before. So I really love it because I pick up some new tips and I'm able to go home and share those with my husband. And it was just a lot of fun, plus it was delicious.
So the goal of the Healthy Living Program is just to kind of inspire people to cook a little healthier and give them options to better their life. Well, your body's like a machine, so what you put in is going to be what you take out. So if you put bad into your body, you're going to get bad out. So putting healthy into your body is best.
It's impacted me socially. I love the social aspect of it because we come for different reasons. You know, we come some to exercise, some come for the healthy eating, some come for the other events that they have at the Y. But I love the social aspect of it because when you're social, you have a reason to come back again.
Feedback has been really good, and they're really enjoying it. We have had actually some people come to the school and do classes with us, so that's been some good feedback. And people have been saying that, you know, some good options to help them better their health. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's actually one of my favorite tips. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. try new things, and just keep cooking, just keep trying.
I love it because it's open to the community. It's not that you have to be a member of the Y, but they open it up to anyone that wants to come. And I love that because you can have people to come in from your neighborhood or from surrounding areas to come in and really learn about healthy eating. And that's so important. So it's more than just a place to come and exercise, which that's great, but it's also a place to come and learn tips for healthy eating as well.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Sharks.
At our recent player profile shoot, we met some amazing First Coast High School athletes.
And that's right, we were able to sit down with 3 senior volleyball players from Bishop Kenny High School to talk about what it was like to make the Final Four last year, what they're excited for in the upcoming season, and some of their favorite memories.
Let's check out those highlights now.
I'm Cameron Fenner. I go to Bishop Kenny High School and I play volleyball.
I'm Elena Ligori. I go to Bishop Kenny High School and I play volleyball.
I'm Josie Nika. I go to Bishop Kenny High School and I play volleyball.
My most memorable moment would be making varsity as a freshman and being the only freshman on the team. It was scary at first because I didn't really know anyone and the seniors can be a little intimidating, but a few weeks into the season they were already my sisters and it was so much fun.
My most memorable moment in my sports career is probably being pulled up sophomore year to varsity, and then junior year I got the opportunity to start and really show what I
The most memorable moment in my sports career is probably winning the state regional final game against Mosley High School. And it was a home game. It went to 5 sets. It was so crazy. And it was a really important game because we always make it to the state semifinals, and winning that game, like the intensity with being at a home game, it was just like really rewarding that all our hard work paid off.
Well, my older sister used to play volleyball and I was a really big basketball player growing up, and my parents just said, hey, you want to try volleyball? And I was like, sure. So I started playing at JJVA when I was around 7, just for fun, and then I just fell in love with the sport ever since then.
Well, my sisters, both of them played their whole lives basically, and my dad played beach volleyball, so he got me into the sport, and I've always looked up to them.
I started playing volleyball when I was in the 5th grade. It was my middle school or elementary school first year having a volleyball team, and me and my older sister were like, hey, let's just try out, why not? And our parents didn't think it was a good idea at first because they just wanted us to stick to basketball and they didn't think we were going to make the team. But we did make the team and we just fell in love with the sport and wanted to continue in the future.
My parents have helped me the most in my sports career because they pay for my club, take me on tournaments, drive me everywhere. And mainly my dad helps me the most because he practices with me outside and pushes me to be my best.
My parents have probably helped me the most in my sports career because they've always supported me no matter what I do, sports, school, and they've always kept me into it no matter how many doubts I've had about myself.
My parents have been the most supportive in my volleyball career, especially my mom. She's always the one motivating me to work harder, go outside, practice with my sister, turn on the TV, watch some college volleyball. She's always driving me to tournaments, dedicating her weekends to watch me play.
I live in the game by putting 110% in everything I do on and off the court and working my hardest and being the best person and player I can be.
I live in the game by dedicating my all in everything that I do and working hard and being passionate.
I live in the game by implying everything I've learned into my real life world. All the situations I've faced in volleyball, I take those and I use it into the real world, how I should treat others, how I should respect others, and how I should lead others.
My name is Cameron Fenner, and I'm living in the game.
My name is Milena Ligori, and I'm living in the game.
My name is Josie Nika, and I am living in the game.
My name is Mary Lyons, and I am one of the volunteers that helps with Duval County Golf, Special Olympics Golf. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. It is the most rewarding thing I do, and I teach golf for a living. It's my job. And Special Olympics is absolutely the most rewarding thing I do. To see the players out here, young, old, but they're trying golf. Some have played golf before, some have never played golf. And we teach them the basic skills throughout the spring, late spring, and into summer, and then we have the competitions, the local games, the area games, and then on to the state championship. And to see the camaraderie and the growth in some of these athletes is just remarkable. How they come out of their shells, you know, when they start to hit a good shot, everybody cheers for everybody, and it's just a great feeling. It is, without a doubt, the most rewarding thing I do.
I am Megan, M-E-G-A-N, Bell, B-E-L-L.
And how many years have you been involved with
19 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. Golf right now, last year I got skills. This year I have skills, next year I need golf partner.
And what would you say to somebody that wants to get involved in Special Olympics?
Let me confidence, let me the journey and about me yourself.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. A special thank you to our sponsors, the First Coast YMCA, the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, and Baker Sports.
Also check out our What's Next segment on our YouTube channel where we covered some of the cheerleaders over at Ponte Vedra High School.
And be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us at ITG Next.
And please feel free to reach out to us on those social media platforms if you have an inspiring story. And also check out our website, itgnext.com, where you can see some of our apparel, What's Next segments, and you can also see a little bit of history of our company.
I'm Haley Rash.
And I'm Nathan Dean. Thank you for watching this week's edition of ITG Next.